Let's see. If you're watching after the live, you're probably gonna fast forward a little bit. We're gonna wait a little bit, let some people hop on, I should say. Uh, after the lift, after the live, we're gonna do. It's gonna be a riser lift. It's like a medium, nothing. It's gonna be a medium intensity. Um, then when the guys come over for arm wrestling practice, it's gonna be a hard practice. I'm not able to make it to mass tomorrow, or it's like 90% looking I'm not gonna be able to make it. So I'm gonna train hard today. If the guys can handle it, I'm gonna do see if they can do the bully strap again. Hey, what's up, Josh? Long time no talk. It was just like it was like we were just talking a few minutes ago, like through a text message or something. But I didn't get the chance to read the last one. My phone is it's getting extra tricky to use. But the screen's still holding up, it's still working. And I'm getting better at the hashtags in the description. Let's see. Did you guys see that video? Someone sent it in the group chat, our team group chat. But did you guys see the video? I forgot the guy's name, but he's been making lots of videos about stuff. Tom Stumple. He made a video about me and Jerry pulling. I'm wondering if any of you guys saw that. What's your thoughts on that video? Josh says, well, this Sunday you can get a new one. I have been seeing the descriptions. Oh, good. Yeah, I'm definitely gonna try to. I'm not sure if I can make it Sunday because I completely forgot my my sister is coming up from down south to visit, and I completely forgot. I know she's gonna be here. I think Thursday, Friday, Saturday. If she's here Sunday, I'm gonna stay and hang out with her Sunday. But if she leaves, I should be able to make it to Jersey. So I'm excited. That place looks like I've seen some video of that gym, Latimer's gym, and it looks pretty nice. Josh says, "Let the big man know." Then I definitely will. I messaged him. What was it? A couple days ago. But I'll give him a heads up, so I'm not surprising anybody. Oh, Tom, I missed that comment. Tom Stubline. Stubline? Is that how you say it? But yeah, I've been watching his videos pop up on my video. That's where I saw that funny video. Bowen got kicked out of Australia. India got kicked out of India. But I wonder if they know how old that video is. That video is from like last year. I must be missing comments because Josh says at whatever that name is, CC25. He just said question mark. So I must be missing comments. But with a question like it must have been pretty interesting knowing some of our people in the chat. It must be pretty interesting. Says, brah, it's just trolls. Oh, good, they're back. We were missing them. We haven't seen any trolls or bots in quite a while. But maybe if there are trolls out there, maybe we can try to get them back on the good side, the not troll side. Because you can still be a troll, but not act like a troll. You know, just because someone looks like a troll and smells like a troll doesn't mean they have to act that way. That's a choice that these people make. So let's see. I think that's Ariel. Says hi. What's up, man? Josh says the good trolls will show up. Yeah, waiting for the good trolls, you know. But I tell you what, if you guys like arm wrestling, you pick the right spot. We'll be talking about arm wrestling stuff, maybe some powerlifting stuff, some gym stuff. Let's see. So, what's up, Brian? He says, hello, Earthings. Nick, I was just watching footage of you. I knew nothing of you, and I just started watching you on live a few weeks now. You are impressive. Oh, I appreciate that, man. That's definitely a nice compliment. Were you watching that match with me and Jerry? Because or the practice with me and Jerry? Because that's getting all over the place now since he's pulling Vitaly. Josh says to Brian, Nick is a big boy. Definitely true. Brian says ranked 15th, you and Jerry. Yeah, that video is from a while ago. I think I was bald in that video. I got some hair now. I got some hair. Missing some of it on the top, but it's trying. It's trying. But yeah, I appreciate that, man. He says, well, keep your elbow on the pad, Nick, LOL. When we're pulling Jerry, I try. It a lot of times it's so he's got so much side pressure that I try to hit sideways, and it looks like I go backwards, but I am just getting, imploded. His move is very unique. The only way I can, there's a couple ways I could try to explain it, but it feels like he shoves your lower arm and your upper arm bone into each other, and it feels like they implode, if that makes sense. But yeah, I definitely got to keep my elbow on. Brian says, I never knew you were so big. Oh, I appreciate that. That means I must be pretty proportionate, Everything must be pretty similar. But it could be the camera, just the camera just shows the head and this little Bass Pro logo. If Bass Pro is watching, maybe they need some arm wrestling sponsors. Let's see. Josh says Nick is the width of two of me. Oh, that's a good compliment. That's a good compliment. Brian says wild pulls. And he says, yeah, I mean, you look strong. Oh, I appreciate that. I've been training hard. If this next match, I should find out in under a week if I can make it. It's the next match. It's gonna be a big one. It's gonna be a big one. I can't tell you the name, but I know you guys have been asking about it. Um, should know about. I should know by Monday, Sunday night, Monday morning is when I should know. Just waiting on. We got a big family party that I'm not gonna miss, no matter what. So I just want to make sure the dates aren't the same. I should know Sunday night, Monday morning. Josh says, and that move Jerry does is so weird. I watched it over and over again. It's such a unique move. I mean, I don't think anyone else presses the way he presses. He doesn't even flop the way everyone flops. His angle is different. It's such a unique move. I mean, I pulled the Jerry quite a bit at practice, and I still barely have an understanding of the move, you know. But it's one of those things you have to feel to understand. You know, I mean, if you could see some things on video, but you kind of have to feel it, you know. Because when I used to watch a lot of video on Jerry, and then it looked one way, it looked like a, you know, and then when you start pulling them, everything changes. Let's see. Josh says one of a kind flop. Brian says, yeah, camera guy, I watched it bunch. Stinky Fox, what's up? Brian says, is it hook and roll press? I mean, Jerry's best move is, in my opinion, is a super deep hook. You know, I feel like if both people go into a hook, I don't think really anybody can beat Jerry. Maybe I'm wrong. I mean, Lavon beat him, but he didn't let him into a hook. He kept him flat. You know, kept his rotation. But yeah, it's kind of like a hook move that just, if the hand goes, he just keeps on going. But even when his hand is flopped, he's still using his hand. His hand is still tremendously strong in such an unorthodox position. You know, it's very strange. It's like the fundamentals he goes after are very different, you know. Camera. Josh says, remember chat, there's a 20-second delay. 20 seconds plus. I'm a little bit of a slow reader, so maybe give me 45 seconds. Josh says, I'm working it all. LOL. Josh says, it is really a hook when you don't have your cup set. I don't think so. Well, yeah, definitely. I know what you mean. But usually he's hooking, and only if someone, you know, is strong enough to take his hand, it will lead to a flop, if that makes sense. I mean, there's definitely some times when he flops on purpose, but he usually doesn't give it unless it's taken, and then he'll flop and get that position. But I know what you mean. Brian says, I find I have control over long arms by low hook drag. It's all I can do with taller guys. Yeah, there's there's definitely advantages to short arms and long arms. I think it depends on the position of the table. Like that drag move you're doing, if you can get someone with if you have a shorter arm and someone has a long arm, if you can get your elbow to the back of the pad, and they're at the front, their hand is going to be way over on your side. The winning's not near the side pressure, not near the pin line, but it's going to be on your side in terms of center table on your side, not towards the pin line, but towards your side. And if that makes sense. There's different advantages to long arms, short arms. Josh says, then it's a flop. If it ends up there, it's a flop. If not, it's a hook. Brian says, yep, you are correct. Oh, I appreciate that. Let's see. When is the Jerry Vitale? It's like November. Is it the 22nd or is it sooner? Is it November 6th? But I know it's soon. It might be 3 weeks. Is it 3 weeks? 4 weeks? I know Dave also has a match. I forgot his opponent's name. I think that's a whatever the class underneath super heavyweight is. Is it 250? Is it 250 in East versus West, or 242? It might be 250. I know I saw some. I didn't see any video, but I saw a picture of Dave. He's looking pretty jacked and lean. He's looking pretty jacked and lean. Let me check the time real quick. How's the video and the audio? Is that pretty good? Looks like my phone says it has pretty good service, so it should be pretty good. Halloween Pumpkinhead said hi. What's up, man? You got the right name for it's almost Halloween time. Let's see. Speaking of Halloween, it's been I haven't been to that Halloween thing in forever. I know Lake Compounds is in my state. I don't know if anyone has ever been to that Lake Compounds Halloween haunted thing. Recently. Brian says later, Nick. Peace out, Brian. Camera guy Josh says do a live there. Yeah, that's what I was thinking. I was like, I wonder if we could do a video. I wonder if they have any certain rules about filming, but we could always get a secret spy camera or something. But yeah, it could be fun. Maybe get a couple arm wrestlers to arm wrestle some of the monsters or something. Josh is calling ass. Yeah, I definitely can do that. I haven't seen. Usually, I see a whole bunch of commercials and stuff. For that. So maybe they don't do it anymore. Hey Pim says, wow. And hi, I appreciate that. That's nice of you. Let's see. You guys have any questions? Any certain topics you guys want to talk about? We talked a little bit about Jerry and Vitaly. We could talk about, I forgot his name of his opponent, but we could talk about Dave and his match. I forgot the name of the opponent, but I think it might be a title match. So let's see. Devil says, do watch anime. Let's see. I watched them when I was a kid. I watched what's it? Death Note. I watched Death Note as a kid. That was a pretty good one if I remember. But yeah, I call them cartoons. You know, I call them cartoons, but yeah, I've watched some of them. That's the only one that pops in my head right now. Josh says Dragon Ball Z. I can't remember which one I watched. I watched the Dragon Ball Z where Trunks got that sword. I don't know which one that is, but I remember that Trunks had this like super sword or something special sword. But that's the only thing I really remember from Dragon Ball Z. I remember Trunks had that super sharp sword or whatever. Is it Dragon Ball X or something? But yeah, Dragon Balls, that's got to be one of the most popular cartoon animes out there, I would think. Is there anything more popular than Dragon Ball Z out there? What's like the definition of anime? Isn't that just a word for Japanese cartoon or something? Or is it like a type of drawings or some type of artwork they use for the animation? Devil says, yo, we'll talk about you. All right, well, let's see. We were talking about a whole bunch of arm wrestling stuff, you know, unless you is you a name of a show or something. Well, we could talk about whatever as long as it's, you know, a fun topic. Josh says hit that thumbs button, y'all. Doesn't cost a thing and greatly helps out the channel. Oh, I definitely agree. Make sure you hit that thumbs up button. All the cool kids hit the thumb ups button. And yeah, that'd be great. That'd be great. Let's see. Any other topics we could talk about? I'm kind of shooting a blank right now on what we could talk about. Um, Devil says funny memory. A funny memory. Let's see. Some reason I usually got some funny stuff, but I can't think of anything funny right now. There's got to be something. Oh, I got something for you. I don't know if I talked about this before, but I had when I was 17, 18. I still got the Jeep, but it doesn't run now. I used to, I used to have the Jeep. Uh, I was pulling into the house, or I used to live in a condo complex, so I was pulling into the house. Um, and right when I saw a whole bunch of turkeys, a whole bunch of like a flock of turkeys. So I slowed down. I'm going like 5 miles an hour, and all of a sudden the turkeys start running across the road. One of them jumps up, hits the hood of the Jeep, hits the windshield, and like tries to fly up, and like squeegee scrapes up the windshield. And apparently turkeys are full of grease. That turkey left turkey grease all over my windshield, and it took me months to be able to get that turkey grease off. Hopefully that's a good one. But yeah, that's the old. The turkey lived too. I was going super slow, like 5 miles an hour. Just happened to, jump up and then fly into the windshield, scrape up it, and it was a big squeegee mark of grease for months. Let's see. Josh says, talk about what you want to try out on the next event you throw, and where you see it in 5 years. Oh, that's a great one. That's a great one. So, um, if I take this match, it's gonna delay the event because it's the same time frame, um, possibly a month or two. It's a big match, so I think it's most likely gonna be a go. But with the Dungeon Super Series 2, the first one was great. We had 9 incredible matches. We're probably going to have about the same amount of matches, 9 to 10. I want to add one more females match. I'd like to add maybe even a sit-down super match. There's an athlete I have in mind. His name is Dustin Homestead. He's an arm wrestler, but he's also he's in a chair. I mean, he's paralyzed from I think from like the sternum down or something like that. But that he is no joke. He is tremendously strong. Especially on the sit down. Because he does stand up too, but he has a little ramp. He'll put the ramp up on his chair. He'll pull in his chair. But something about I want to do a sit down super match. I also want to do a. We might have. I definitely want to have one round robin, maybe even 2. I want to have the cameraman's battle it out. And I also want to have the team of 3 battle it out. I do think it might be better to add a 4th member to the round robin. So there's not one guy that starts off fresh, But it's going to be great. It's going to be located in Portland, Connecticut. I can't tell you the address because it's a invite only location. The dungeon is where we train on Saturdays. But I mean, for the next 5 years, I would like this to build up. In 5 years, I would like to have a budget where we can, if we want a match and athletes are ready, we can, a budget's not going to be a problem. Right now, the budget is the biggest problem. We just can't, what athletes require at the level we're looking for. We just can't, get the budget as of right now. But I think it's only a matter of time before this builds and builds. I'd like to have multiple pay-per-views a year, multiple tournaments a year. Yeah, so I think there's a tremendous amount of potential, for something great to happen. Let's see, Brian, what's up, man? What's up, man? I'll see you. Hopefully you check the group chat because it's one of those be ready workouts, but it's gonna be good. Josh says, do you have sponsors in mind? Are you in talks with sponsors? Yeah, I'm definitely talking with sponsors. I'm definitely talking with sponsors, some companies and stuff like that. Um, but more sponsors would definitely help. So if anyone's out there, if you have a business and you're looking for a way to get reach more people, to find more people with your business, sponsorships may be a great option because with the sponsorships you'll have advertisement, you'll have your business name. Depending on which sponsorship you choose, you could have it on a shirt. We have small sponsors, we have medium sponsors, all the way up to main sponsors, where the main sponsor will get a they'll have the majority of the t-shirt, the biggest spot on a t-shirt. They'll also have they'll have to make it could either be an audio commercial, or if they can, a video commercial, which will be played during our pay-per-views. If the audio can also be played during the live event, also during the tournament. So there's many options, even to actually more for Turtle Man piece of the charity, but people have donated items for the raffle silent auction kind of thing. So that's even another option. But I would say the best bet is, if you can, I'd definitely go for that main sponsor. You get pretty much everything: commercial, advertisement on the shirts. You get a table named after you. So like where that table is so like say we have 3 tables for the tournament. Instead of being table 1, 2, or 3, for instance, say if Team Stone was a sponsor, STONEtv was a sponsor, instead of table 1, it'd be called the Team Stone table. Instead of table 2, it'd be called the STONEtv table. So every single match, the business name would be called. Let's see. Brian says, I saw the anonymous warning. Yeah, definitely, it was a warning. I do plan on going very hard, so I'm gonna have to be clear. If people don't feel comfortable or safe in the bully strap, I think it might be better for them not to do it today. Because last week I was going very hard, but I still had a lot of mind power, thought in the safety of the teammate in the bully strap. Because if you don't know what the bully strap is, it's pretty much like putting a turbo or a supercharger on your body, giving it more muscle, but you have the same frame. So that's the risk of injury. In my opinion, I think it goes through the roof for both people, but especially the person wearing the bully strap, because they're able to absorb and transfer force that they're not able to do without the bully strap. So it's very interesting. Josh says, use Google to search a radius around your event, then send out an email to all those businesses. That's a great idea. I will definitely do that. Because we do have, where I live, it's not super busy, but certain spot, like I'm on Main Street right now, and there's a whole bunch of businesses. Maybe another idea is maybe we can take our best looking teammate members, and we'll go business to business. Our most representable teammate members. But maybe we don't have. Maybe I don't know if we have enough representable teammate members. It might just be one guy. Maybe Bill. Maybe Bill is the most representable. But no, that's a great idea. I will definitely do that. The email, that's a great idea. Um, Brian says we will have to hire a rep. LOL. Well, we definitely can, but as long as they're willing to work for what the refs got paid at Turtle Man, they're hired. They are hired. And if you're wondering, the refs did not get paid at Turtle Man, so they volunteered. So if we can find a rep that will volunteer and work extremely hard, they're hired. Speaking, hey Brian, are you looking for a part-time job that requires full-time responsibility? But no, definitely, it's only a matter of time. It's only a matter of time, you know. Let's see. Josh says have a sponsorship tier package ready to give the business a choice. Yeah, it's definitely a good idea. We do have a. I gotta make it cleaner and more easier to read, but we do have different packages. Let's see what I can remember right now. So the bottom one is donations, like items, stuff for the raffle. The next step up is I want to say it's $250, and that will get you. I can't remember exactly. Yeah, I can't remember. I got it all on paper, but in terms of I remember the money. It's donation item is the bronze package. The silver package is $250. No, well, the bronze, silver, gold, platinum. Uh, 250 is the silver. 500 is the gold. I know that will get you a spot on a T-shirt, not the biggest spot. It will get you a small spot, a gold spot. It's not small, but compared to the main sponsor, it's definitely smaller. I mean, they're not small. You could definitely read them. People put you know, put their name and number on them. You can still read all the numbers. And the main sponsor is the platinum sponsor, which is our main sponsor, and that goes for I want to say it's 1,000, 750 or 1,000. Now these are all open to change. That's just what we did for our last two events. That main sponsor would get you a table name, a big spot on the shirt, 60-second commercial that will be played. Now they have to make the commercial 60 seconds that will be played in beginning and end. The audio commercial will be played during the live event. Let's see. Drew, what's up, man? What's up, man? Let's see. It's 10 o'clock there. So what time is it there? 8 o'clock? 8 o'clock for you over in Vegas? Oh, 7 a.m. 7 a.m. is nice and early for some people. Some people are probably just getting to sleep. What would you guys say the top 3 biggest current arm wrestling promotions there are out there? You know, definitely East versus West is probably the biggest. I mean, I don't think anyone would argue with that. So East versus West. I think East versus West and King of the Table, I think they're one now. So I think they're one company now, if I'm not mistaken. But that's tricky. Like after East versus West, what's the next biggest one? Arm Gods, yeah, Josh said Arm Gods. I was thinking that too. Arm Gods, that could be one. I don't know about. I mean, how many? Maybe we'll decide. Maybe we'll clarify biggest by amount of pay-per-view sales. You know, because that's what I was kind of thinking about. And I don't know how many pay-per-view sales they would do. Because last time I looked at the YouTube, they had not the biggest YouTube, and that's what they were using, kind of the same way we did. They put the pay-per-view on the YouTube memberships, if I'm not mistaken. Let's see. Josh says they have a site other than YouTube. Oh, okay, all right. I never even heard of it. Is that also where they do the pay-per-view? On their site? Because I thought it was all on their YouTube. Brian says Arm Wars, Iron House. That could definitely be it. Yeah, it's very tricky, you know, because it's hard to say how many, like, you know, pay-per-views promotions sell. Let's see. The camera guy says like an actual app, yes, and they tease you on YouTube. All right, and then Drew's got the link to the, looks like some reason that blue's hard to read, armgods.com. All right, so that's the link to the website. I'll have to check that out later. Drew, I tried. You had the idea with the separate tablet, and I tried it, but the tablet's so old that it won't show me the comments on the YouTube. So I was able to see the video, but not the chat. So definitely worth a shot. But yeah, I'll definitely I'll have to get something a little newer. Let's see. Brian says, I like the production of those Iron House videos the best. Usually my favorite to watch. That's the one where they kind of do, they kind of make it like a little mini movie kind of thing, right? And they try to build up the characters of the two kind of thing. And they kind of, right? That's the one you're talking about, right? Like, you know, let's see, the Iron House. Yeah, I think that's the one you're talking about, the Iron House one. I did like I watched a lot of the original Arm Wars. You know, I watched a lot of those videos. Those style of I like those matches. Josh says, me too. Yes, mini movie. That's what I like. Oh, good. We kind of did something similar. I mean, not we did more with the pay-per-view, the first ever Dungeons Super Series pay-per-view. We had I guess it's similar, interviews. They had the interviews. We did the interviews in the beginning of the match. You get to know the athlete a little bit, what they're about and stuff like that. Josh says, that's how I edit. We talked about that this morning. We definitely did. Yeah, I like that type of editing. Let's see. Brian says, yeah, it's pretty cool how Neil gets that set up. I like how loud the mics and room are too. Super loud, like distorted. Are there fans? Are there fans watching at the Iron House, or is it no fans watching? Because I can't remember if there's fans or not. Like if spectators are able to watch and buy tickets, or is it super secret? Because I know they film it, keep it secret, and then they post it after. I think that's a good idea for the pay-per-view, because I know if I find out the score, I'm less likely to check it out usually, so I would think other people are kind of like that. Let's see. Josh says, just like close family and stuff. Okay, yeah, that makes sense. And how much does the pay-per-view go for the Iron House? Does anyone know how much the pay-per-view is? I'm just curious. Because if that's true, it sounds like that promotion depends all on pay-per-views to make a profit, or at least break even. Or maybe they don't even care about profit and they just want to put out a good show. But that's interesting. Brian says it's like an empty room besides the corner man. Oh, okay, that's why I remember seeing some. I remember seeing it looked like, they set the cameras up, just show the athletes kind of thing. Brian says all lock and key type stuff. All right. Brian says, Josh, does he use like a filter or something for the color on those? It's like a cool tone, dark type of thing. Josh says theirs are put out to their members. Oh, okay. So they use YouTube members. That's how they do it. They use the same thing, the YouTube memberships. I wonder if that's how they do it, if they have the same problems as what we had. Some people, like on their phone, if they don't have the right phone with the software, there's not even an option to find membership. They'd have to go to a desktop to find it. Yeah, I wonder if they have the same problem. So Josh says to Brian, probably professional color graded with effects. That makes me think of, in movies, whenever they film anything in Mexico, they always put that yellow tint to show it's Mexico and stuff like that. That's what popped in my head. You guys know what I'm talking about? That yellow tint to show it's Mexico or something, or a desert. I've even seen movies film in the desert and then use a white tint to make the desert look like snow. So they have all these actors in big coats walking around in the desert. Let's see. Brian says, "Hell yeah, I like that. It looks cool." Brian says, "LL spaghetti western filter." Hey man, it works. It works. Maybe we'll go crazy with the filters next time when we edit. It will be everyone will have a filter. Maybe we'll use even some of those those like funny filters that changes people's face. Maybe we'll just do all filters. See how it goes. um, let's see. Josh says, but most everything is shot in manual on those cameras to lessen post production. Oh, okay. When you say manual, that's the individual color and sound, right? You're talking about, or are you talking about just saving time, doing things to save time for the edited? That's what you're talking about. That one, or are you talking about the actual colors on the camera and lighting on the camera? Let's see. Brian says, we'll have to get some tumbleweeds blowing around the labyrinth and have a gunfight standoff type thing for the athletes. That could be it. That could definitely be it. That could be funny. That could definitely be funny. It'd be funny if like we did that. They do the quick draw. One guy pulls out the old revolver, the cowboy gun, and another guy pulls out a grenade. We could do something funny like that. That could be funny. Let's see. Josh says, running the camera in manual, not auto. I make the picture what I want it to look like. Okay. That's good. That's good. Brian says nice. Yep, that should be good. Should be good. Maybe a stick of TNT would be funnier. It would fit more in with the time frame. Big stick of TNT. Josh says, I have an explosion effect. Oh, good. That's good. That will definitely lower the budget, because otherwise we'll have to spend all of our budget on the explosion effects. So that's good. We can take that money from the explosion effects and put it back into the matches. So that's what I'm talking about. Another thing too that's tricky. I guess that's the only word I could think of. Tricky, or makes you think is how many arm wrestling promotions do you think go positive or at least break even with the money they spend for matches for the pay-per-view? Because we were looking at matches for the last one, and like the lowest that we went through at least 20 to 30 athletes at least and the average requirements was either travel and stay for them and their spouse or girlfriend or whatever, or coach or whatever. And then it would also be, if it wasn't just that, it'd be that plus show up fee and a win bonus. So the average cost of a match is like between $1,500, maybe even $2,500, maybe depends on the athlete. Which I think it's I think it's a fair price at the level, but I don't know if we would make that much back on the pay-per-view. Because I think on the first pay-per-view, the money was given to the Turtle Man charity, so we accomplished our goal to, everything we put into it, we wanted to go positive for the charity. So we accomplished that goal, but it was only, I think it was under $300 for the pay-per-view, so if we're going off of that for the next one, anything, if we spend more than 300, we're more than likely we might be negative, so that's what I mean, tricky. Brian says, yeah, pyrotechnics guys will probably be pricey. I know a guy, he'll do it for free. Just gotta stay away from him, don't get too close, and watch your back. But I might know a guy. When I was a kid, I had a buddy whose father was a demolitions, the guy that blows up buildings for a living. And I think we were like, I don't know, 12 or 13 or something, and he gave us a half a stick of dynamite. He just gave it to us and said, hey, go have fun. And we thought it was a good idea to we put the TNT on the ground and we put a basketball on top of it because we thought it was going to launch into the sky. And I didn't light it because I didn't go near that with because it was just a wick and a lighter with a half a stick of TNT. Someone else lit it, and it was from what I remember, it was a pretty short fuse. It went off, and it the basketball was just gone, nothing left of it, and there was a huge crater in the ground. And I think that was at his like birthday party or something. It was like 12th or 13th birthday party. But that's the guy I'm talking about. If he's still got a job, he might not, because he's been giving dynamite to kids. He might not have a job, but if he's still got a job, I might be able to get a hold of some dynamite. Let's see. Brian says if he's missing some fingers, he's probably got good experience. He's missing something. I know he's definitely missing something. And I remember, I forgot his father's name, but I remember he was pretty strong, because he was the first person I've ever seen. I went to the gym with him once or twice as a kid, and he was the first person I've ever seen shoulder press 405 pounds. So he was super strong. He was shoulder press 405 seated, but still 405 is some good weight for for an explosive expert. Let's see. Josh says, the way I see, just my opinion, live stream your event to the public for free to get eyes on the event. That could definitely be it. That could definitely be it. One thing I was thinking about is having 1 or 2 free matches and then the rest on the pay-per-view, something like that. But yeah, that's definitely a good, that's definitely an idea. Maybe bring some people in. Let's see. Then Josh says, lets people make the decision whether they want to join when the production gets big enough to move it to members only. That's definitely a good idea. That's definitely something to think about. Brian is laughing at the joke. That's a good joke from before. Then Brian says, explosive in the gym. 2 sounds like fun. Definitely is. But remember, if you break anything, you buy it. They break anything, you buy it. That's the rule. Let's see. I got a question for you guys. I don't know if you guys have ever seen this or not, but what do you guys think about, like, say if a promotion, has their, the main guy, the guy that owns everything, but they have someone else that's like a face, someone else working for him as the promoter side. What do you guys think about something like that? Do you think that's something good? Do you think that's something could be tricky? Because I worked with the Global Elite last year, and I worked with Magna. I thought she was great. I thought she did a great job. I thought she was one of the owners, but she was, to my understanding, she was hired as the promoter kind of thing. I think stuff like that could get tricky. I think maybe that's not the best question. I'm not really sure how I'm trying to ask that question, but so Josh, yeah, maybe that's like, he says, you mean like the money behind the face? Yeah, something like that. Like whoever is the main boss. I think. I mean, maybe it's better for them to. I would think it's better for them to be seen by the people. Or at least known that they're the boss, like a baseball. You know what I mean? Like the owner of a baseball team. They don't really, you don't really see them too much, but they're there, they're watching the game, and you know what I mean. Because I had, I thought Magna was the owner. The owner came up to me after the match, and I thought he was a regular fan. So I'm just talking to him regular, and then whatever, 6 months ago he says we talked, and I don't even remember talking to anybody except for fans. But maybe I'm just against. I think the middle. If there's a middleman, I think it leaves too many things open for, you know, confusion. You know, if that makes sense, because then there's you know, conversations where people are missing information. You know, but yeah, maybe not the best question, but just popped in my head. Drew says, like Marcus Thompson behind Arm Gods. Yeah, something like that. I mean, you know he's definitely there. You know he's the, the main guy, but he's just not the face. You know what I mean? You know he's the main guy, but he's not, he's not the face. You know, Paul Maiden's the face in terms of the promoter, you know, but it's interesting, you know? It's very interesting. Josh says Arm Gods is that way. Yeah, I mean, I definitely, I'm not against it. I just think it could create problems because, people are talking for people. You know, they might say things a little differently, and people with text messages read them sometimes not the way they're supposed to come out. Um, Sometimes it also looks a little shady. Maybe I don't know. It's tricky. Maybe not shady. Um, but it's interesting. Let's see. Brian says, I think they're usually not athletes, at least not relevant or high level, so they put someone who is in front. Um, yeah, that could definitely be it. Could be something like that. Could definitely be something like that. Josh says they have a clear understanding between them two. Yeah, definitely true. Maybe that's why the thing that was missing between the other promotion is there's no clarity on what's there. You know what I mean? I thought there was, but then when we go to work again, it's like it was like a completely different person. And then you got people, you know, calling people liars and stuff like that because. But good thing I signed a contract for that one, so I could prove that I wasn't lying. Like one thing that was tricky is uh, I was paid a certain amount for the match, show up fee and a win bonus, and the other guy, the main guy, had no idea that I was paid. He thought I did it for free. So it's stuff like that, something that's super tricky. I had to show him that I did sign a contract and stuff like that, but it's interesting. Um, let's see. Brian says, or the promotion starts small, then finds a big money donor / funder who wants the business and not the sports side. Yeah, definitely could be it. Definitely could be something like that. Let's see. Then Brian says, boxing is probably a good example. Could definitely be. Maybe even the UFC. Who's that guy that got in the mob? That Kazmat or something like that. He's in the mob or whatever. The mob's paying for him or something like that. All right, it says, because looked out for Tyson's best interest, and Don King just used him for his pocket. Yeah, that's another thing too. Is you know, even if a promoter is trying to help you out, they're still gonna do what's best for the promotion. You know what I mean? Yeah, it's very interesting. You know, very interesting. Yeah, that is very true. That is true. That stuff is interesting. What? What do you guys think? Like, say if a promotion had to put all their eggs into one basket, meaning like where they make all their money or most of their money. Do you think they should put it in the pay per view? Should they put it in person tickets? Should they put it into merchandise? You know, where do you think an arm wrestling promotion would make out the best by putting most of their time into you know either the pay per view sales, in person tickets, or merchandise maybe? Because I've talked to several promoters, and I've asked them if I could pick their brain and see how the promoters think, and some are similar and some are very different. Some are all about the pay per view. Like that's their thing. They need the pay per view to be good. Some they still have the pay per view, but they don't even consider the pay per view money as any kind of money. Some uh, usually those ones are have go after have big sponsors or enough sponsors to not be so reliant on the pay per view sales. Versus some people are almost solely reliable, relying on the pay per view sales. I just think it's very interesting that same sport but different um, methods, you know, and they work different for different people. Josh says profits from each thing should go back into said thing for a better end product. Yeah, definitely true. Definitely true. But now, what if they're not making? What if they're going negative every time? You know, that might make things a little extra tricky. It's interesting. It's very interesting. Josh says never rob Peter to pay Paul. That's definitely true, because I tell you what, Peter does not like being robbed, especially when his money goes to Paul. It's a bad day for Peter. And when Peter has a bad day, it's a bad day for everybody. But yeah, that's definitely true. That's definitely true. And I think there's been a lot of that in the arm wrestling world. You know, I've been I've been Peter for a little bit, and I might have been Paul, depending on the circumstances. But I've definitely been in the middle of Peter and Paul before, money wise, not in the weird way. Brian says, good question. Merch probably has the best chance to do well, only when a lot goes into promoting the event with the biggest names, which is going to cost a lot anyway. Yeah, that's definitely true. That's definitely true. Yeah, I was thinking merchandise maybe too. But I do think now I think some type of membership is might be a good way to to do something that way. You know what I mean? Have a membership, something that's every month is a charge. They'll get the pay-per-view, but also videos in between, secret special secret videos that only members see. It's tricky. It's tricky. I feel like all these ways will work. It just depends on what you have to work with. You know what I mean? Another thing too that now I'm just throwing things out. I'm just thinking out loud. One thing that promotions might be relying on is tournaments before or after the pay-per-view event or super matches event to make most of their money, possibly. You know, I know that's what East versus West did with all those. Remember they doing all the finals in the beginning. The first finals, they didn't have enough people, so they let everyone in the finals. To make more money, kind of thing. Um, so that could be another option. Brian says, I think the qualifier stuff, giving people a shot to get a match at the event, draws people to watch and follow because of their own interest. Definitely true. Definitely could very well true be. Definitely could be. Especially if they're involved and they get a spot, they're more likely to, be involved with that promotion. is definitely true. Um, let's see. Josh says an hour and 20 minutes strong. Yeah, this is a pretty long one. It's definitely a pretty long one. I had a cancellation, so we got some extra time. But I am running low on this energy drink, so once I finish this up, I'm gonna head down to the labyrinth, start the lift. Let's see. Depending on my battery, maybe I'll go live for the lift too. Because I know the tripod, this thing is charged up. I definitely know this thing is charged up because I charged it. The gyroscopic stabilizer tripod. Brian says, what are you doing for a lift today? So I'm going to do some riser. It's going to be medium intensity, then followed up with a recovery lift. I'm going to hit riser, medium, not to be challenging, not super challenging. Then I'm going to finish up with recovery, full body. And then table time today, I'm planning on going real hard if the guys feel comfortable in the bully strap. I keep on saying that because I know there is a risk, so I'm only gonna ask the teammates to wear the bully strap if they feel, maybe comfortable is not the right word, if they feel what's that called? I guess comfortable is the only thing I can think of. It's not, either way, it's not comfortable. It's very painful. I've actually never worn the bully strap. I've only been on the other end, but I know it's very painful. Maybe willing is the right word. Prepared? Up, there we go. Just plug the phone in. Josh says, just plug the phone in when you go live. Yeah, I could do that. But I've noticed if I use the stabilizer camera and try to plug it in, sometimes the stabilizer will pop the wire out. I think that's why the microphone wasn't working, or like it works in the beginning and then over time it like shakes out. But I think I can't see it right now, but it should be pretty good. I charged it up before I started live, so I should be at least 50%. But yeah, I'll definitely figure it out. Then Josh is prepared. Yeah, that's definitely a better word, prepared, instead of comfortable. If you're prepared for the bully strap, because like I said, there is the risk. There's always a risk of injury for everything, but the bully strap definitely magnifies It magnifies your power, but it also magnifies the risk of injury. Josh says, plug it in now. I can't plug it in now because the plug is on the bottom of the steering wheel. I don't think I could turn my phone sideways without the live stopping. But I'll as soon as I'm off, I'll charge it. I got the car charger. I'll charge it on the way back to the Labyrinth, and we'll get it done. I'll have Wi-Fi too, so it should be a little better with battery with Wi-Fi. But we'll get it done. We'll definitely get it done. I gotta find some copyright music, because the last copyright music I played during the live, every single song that was copyright free that said in YouTube was flagged. Every single song. There was like 17 songs that I had to go back and take out on the YouTube. But yeah, I'm gonna try again. I'm gonna try to find a something that, it says copyright free or royalty free, but sometimes it doesn't matter apparently, So what's up, Wolf Guy? He says, hi, what's up, Wolf Guy? Must be a fan of wolves. When I was a kid, I used to have I had a couple of those wolf shirts when I was a kid. Those shirts with like the wolf howling at the moon and whatever, stuff like that. A few of those shirts I used to, I liked them, to wear them a lot as a kid. I wonder if the Wolf Guy has a wolf shirt on. Wolf Guy says, do you remember Wolfie? YouTube? Yeah, we remember Wolfie. You changed your name again? I'll tell you what, you keep on keeping us on our toes, man. But I appreciate you watching again. All right, what's up, man? Oh, Brian, you're back too. Says I'm back. What's up, man? Yeah, it's a long one. But it's good. We're having fun. I'm probably gonna hop off soon. Running low on energy drinks, so that means it's about time to lift. Brian says my brachial-auratus and pronators are wrecked in a good way. Oh, good. I feel it too, man. My pronator, I think pronator the most. But something's happening because that little pronator bubble is getting bigger. I don't know if it's inflammation, is just super swollen, but that little golf ball muscle is starting to stick out crazy. Let's see. Wolf Guy, how has your day been? Pretty good, man. It's a good day. It's nice and warm here. For being October, it's nice and warm. How about yourself, man? Hopefully you're having a good day too. Hopefully you get time to hit the gym today. Brian says took a break from outside work. Oh, good. Brian says mine are too. Oh, good. We're all in the same club. The Sore Pronator Club. It's a unique club to be in. Sometimes fun. Josh says, I wish mine would magically reattach. There is a chance, man. You'd be surprised. Maybe it won't attach to the same spot it was, but it might heal to something. But maybe you got a little bit of a lizard DNA in you, and you'll heal like a lizard, I think so. You might have just a little bit of lizard DNA, that lizard heal factor. But yeah, man, hopefully it fucking reattaches to something strong. Brian says, my guys and me had a brutal Saturday night practice. Oh, good. We're about to have a brutal Tuesday night practice. I don't know if you how far away you are from Connecticut, but if you want to bring some guys down to Connecticut, 5 p.m., that's when we start. You're more than welcome, man. Junkie, what's up, man? He says, yo, bro, hope you're good, brother. I'm doing good. Wolf guy says, I'm at the gym, lol. I'm hitting leg day. All right, man. That's some good stuff. I'll probably hit some legs today. Nothing crazy, but just some general fitness legs for the recovery part. But make sure you hit it hard, man. Make sure you hit it hard. Brian says, my forearm is getting wide at the top. I think the table curls and the static bicep lock are doing their magic. That's what I'm talking about. Yeah, I think those, those exercises are very good for giving you it's kind of specific, but it's also general. It's like specific general strength in those areas. But that's what I'm talking about. That's what I'm talking about. Junkie says, since I subbed, my name changed. What was the name before, man? Wolf guy says, nice. Brian says, get this. 10 years ago, my large dog pulled the leash hard enough to hyperextend my left. I healed without seeing a doc. Now it's stronger. That's good. That's good. Sometimes it happens. Sometimes when you get injured, the body heals back stronger. I tore my left tricep, and and my left arm is still. It's been better on the table. I haven't been pinned in an actual match in at least 3 years, but maybe 4. I want to say at least 3 years. But definitely glad you're doing stronger. Wolf guy says I will, so he's hitting the gym hard. That's what I'm talking about. Junkie says, I'm not sure why I'm not sober for 28 showing. Yeah, YouTube must have changed because before I used to say people's names. Now it's saying their YouTube name. Wolf guy says BRB. Sounds like he's hitting a PR. He's hitting a PR right now. That's what I'm talking about. Brian says humans are amazing. Yeah, definitely crazy what the body can do. Because I've had a few injuries that the doctors told me I'd never be able to do anything competitive again. I think the hardest injury, the biggest injury, I had a double herniated disc in my lower back, and herniated disc and a popped out SI joint. I popped out that SI joint, which was that was a rough one. And I was actually I won the Arnold with that. I was able to win the Arnold with all that. But yeah, I was told that I wouldn't be able to lift again. I wouldn't be able to walk or something, or I'd have a hard time walking. They wanted to fuse my spine and all this crazy stuff. And all it needed was just some smart training, some good time and some smart training, and bam, didn't need any surgery. Let's see. Junkie says, hope Big Frank's doing well, bro. He definitely is. He's getting a little too fat. We're gonna have to start him on his diet again. He's getting a little too heavy. Most people think he's like a pit bull or something, but he's actually a Chihuahua mix. He might have a little pit bull in him, but he's mostly a Chihuahua rat terrier thing or whatever. But he's getting a little chunky, and you got to be careful in the wintertime because you can't really walk him too much in the winter. He's got a missing leg. He's got a little nub on his back leg, so we can't really walk him in the snow because the snow really, he's got like exposed nerve or something in that nub, so the snow really causes a lot of pain for him. So we can't really walk him too much in the snow. We usually have a snow blower. I usually make a little square cutout for him so he doesn't have to walk in the snow. Still snow there, but it's not not as deep as if it didn't use the snow blower. But he's fat, but he's doing well, I'll tell you that. Brian says, yeah, Junkie, all our names changed recently. I think Josh or Drew said YouTube is doing something. Yeah, something YouTube. Oh, YouTube's always doing something. Josh says, yeah, YouTube changed it like a week or two ago. Yeah, it's interesting. I like the other names the other way better, but it could just be new. Brian says, you are a bit too far, 5 hours away, but I'm going to make a go for it. It will have to be a plan. I'm way up northern New York, 15 minutes from Canada. Oh man, I did this Ogdensburg area, if I said that right. But I tell you what, man, you're more than welcome. But I tell you what, you know what's worse than a 5-hour drive? A 6-hour drive. So maybe it's doable, man. Maybe it's doable. But yeah, we'll definitely plan something out. If you want to shoot me a message on Facebook or Instagram, it's Nic Stone. Facebook, Instagram is _Team Stone 777. If you want to shoot me a message, shoot me a message. We'll plan something out. But Tuesdays and Saturdays in Connecticut. I'm not sure about this weekend. I should know by Thursday what's going on. I don't have anything really. I'm up in the air until Thursday right now, until I have to figure things out with family visiting. Yeah, man, shoot me a message. More than welcome. Bring all the guys you want, as long as they're cool. If they're a little weird, that's okay. Just let me know ahead of time. Josh says Frank is a downright killer. He definitely is. He is like he must be like a little part cane corso. Those cane corsos have they have like I don't think they have any pain receptors in certain areas like their neck and face. So he's kind of like that, he don't feel pain. He's just brutal, Brian says, I keep meaning to change mine back. I'm starting to get good at it now that I can, I've seen the senior Pliskin, and that means Brian. Junkie says, you still got snow where you at? ? UK barely snows in recent years. No, it hasn't snowed yet. I mean, it missed it. It's actually pretty warm today. I'm actually sweating a little bit with the hoodie on, which is, is good. Enjoy the warm temperature before the snow comes, but the snow will be here soon. It will definitely be here soon. But no snow yet. It's probably like 55 degrees right now. Brian says, I say this someday soon I will visit. The 154-pound golden turtle is my Mount Everest. I tell you what, man, that's a great Mount Everest. A lot of people can see it, but very, very few people get the right to take it home with them. I'm not going to say it's not doable, but I'm going to say it's a challenge, and I think that too. I think you're up for the challenge. That 154-pound class is usually competitive. There's usually a big turnout, and yeah, man, I'm excited. I'm excited for you. I hope you're excited too. Brian says, all right, guys, got to run some errands. See you at practice, Nick. All right, man. See you then. Brian says, mine changed once. It must mean it's the name. Junkie says, link your socials to your YouTube, bro. Oh, that's a good idea. I should probably do that. That's a good idea. You talking about like in the what's it called? Like the info thing when you click on someone's YouTube, it says like info. You're talking about in that? I think I could put something in there. But yeah, that's a great idea. That's a great idea. Thanks for bringing that up. I could do that. No problem, probably. Brian says, funny. I'll be in touch. Then it says evenings on Saturday or afternoons. Mornings. Saturday is 10 a.m. That's where we start. 10 a.m. on Saturday. 5 p.m. on Tuesday. Josh says, Nick, just add all that stuff in the description from now on. Okay, that's a good idea too. That's a great idea too. I should definitely do that. It'll probably be a lot easier than me just, saying it and having everyone just go by memory. Brian says, snows are coming. Bet on that. It definitely is. And he says, Brian says, my tackling fuel. Oh, is that a Waterboy quote? Is that a Waterboy quote? Tackling fuel? I think that is. Brian says, yeah, I got to get back at it. My animals know I'm gone. LOL, chores calling again. Man, I appreciate that. I appreciate you hanging out. Coming back during your break. But yeah, make sure those animals are got some good feed, Good stuff. Bobby Boucher, LOL. Yeah, that was a good movie. I remember there's a whole bunch of good parts. What's the part when I remember the part when he's taking the test and the crazy chick is in the window with the sign that says, "You want me to kill them?" The test instructors. That was a good movie. Good family fun for the whole family. Brian says, see you soon. Later, Earthlings. Take it easy, man. Thanks for watching. I'm probably going to hop off here soon. I've been sipping this pre-workout. What time is it? It's probably like noon. It's 11 o'clock. Brian says, good movie. Definitely is. I wonder what it would look like if they made a second Waterboy. It would probably have to be like... that would be interesting. Maybe he makes it to the NFL kind of thing. That would be funny. But all right, guys, I'm going to hop off in like a minute or two. So if you got any final questions, let me know. Yeah, it was a good time. We had fun. I hope you guys had fun. Talked about a whole bunch of good stuff. Brian says, Bobby has a son. LOL, him and Vicky. That could be it. Maybe the son would be the bad guy. He's a rebel, something like that. But that would be funny. Maybe he's the good guy and training him to, play the game. Brian says, my lady's name is coincidentally is Vicky. That's funny. Too bad your name wasn't Bobby. That would have been even funnier. Well, we got close. We got B. Both got B. So we're pretty close. But, all right, guys. I appreciate you watching. We'll probably see you in a little bit for the lift. We can do a live again. But thanks for watching, and we'll see you soon.